Welcome to Motorsports Menia, your home for the best car reviews, detailed breakdowns, and automotive storytelling that brings the spirit of every ride to life. Whether you're into the latest electric marvels or the roaring muscle cars of the past, we have something for every enthusiast. Today, we're taking a nostalgic journey back to a true legend of American muscle, the 1970 Pontiac GTO. A car that didn't just participate in the golden era of muscle cars, but one that defined it. The 1970 GTO was a symbol of raw power, aggressive styling, and American automotive engineering at its peak. It's one of the most iconic muscle cars ever produced and a favorite among collectors, restorers, and classic car lovers around the world. The 1970 model year brought some key updates to the GTO lineup, both in terms of style and performance. While it retained its core muscle car DNA, it introduced sharper design cues and bolder options. The front end was redesigned with 4 exposed headlights and a more prominent split grille, giving the car a wider and meaner stance. The Endura front bumper, which could absorb minor impacts without damage, remained a standout feature, blending seamlessly with the body for a streamlined look. This design was not just functional but also added to the car's aggressive personality. The body lines were sleek, the hood was sculpted, and optional hood scoops added both style and performance enhancements. The 1970 GTO was available in several vibrant factory colors and could be further personalized with striping, spoilers, and wheel options. The Judge trim, introduced a year earlier, returned for 1970 with even more flair. It came with wild graphics, bold colors like Orbit Orange, and a rear spoiler that shouted performance from every angle. The Judge wasn't just cosmetic, it was a high-performance version of the GTO that came standard with a powerful Ram Air 3 engine and was geared for those who demanded maximum performance on the street and strip. Under the hood, the 1970 GTO delivered an impressive lineup of engines that made it a force to be reckoned with. The base engine was a 400 cubic inch V8 rated at 350 horsepower. For those looking for more muscle, the optional Ram Air 3 and Ram Air IV 400 cubic inch engines offered serious upgrades. The Ram Air IV pushed horsepower up to 370 and came with improved breathing, a hotter cam, and better internals. But the big news for 1970 was the availability of the 455 cubic inch V8, which brought a whole new level of torque. This engine produced 360 horsepower but delivered massive low-end grunt, making the GTO even more potent in real-world driving and straight-line performance. All engines were paired with either a 3-speed manual, a 4-speed manual, or a 3-speed automatic transmission. Enthusiasts often opted for the 4-speed manual, especially with performance packages like the Judge or Ram Air setups. The 1970 GTO also offered performance-oriented rear axle ratios, limited slip differentials, and heavy-duty cooling systems to ensure the car could handle the power it was putting down. Inside the cabin, the GTO delivered a mix of muscle car toughness and comfort. The interior featured high-back bucket seats, optional wood-grain trim, and a sporty dash layout with deeply recessed gauges. The cockpit was driver-focused, with a 3-spoke steering wheel and a floor-mounted shifter that added to the car's aggressive feel. Optional features included air conditioning, an 8-track stereo system, power windows, and rally gauges with a tachometer. While the materials used were typical of the era, the GTO's interior provided a sense of occasion every time you slid behind the wheel. The driving experience in a 1970 GTO was all about power and attitude. The car had a heavy yet stable feel on the road, with plenty of torque available across the rev range. It wasn't just about raw acceleration, the GTO could also handle corners reasonably well for a muscle car, thanks to its performance-tuned suspension and optional Rally 2 wheels wrapped in wide rubber. Braking was adequate for the time, with power front disc brakes available as an option. Steering was power-assisted but still communicated road feel, giving the driver confidence and control even at higher speeds. The GTO's reputation extended far beyond the streets. It was a dominant presence at drag strips and car shows alike, and it played a major role in shaping the muscle car culture of the 1960s and 70s. Its combination of bold looks, serious power, and accessible pricing made it a favorite for young drivers looking to make a statement. The Judge package in particular became a cultural icon, known for its wild advertising campaigns and standout design. By 1970, however, the muscle car era was starting to face challenges. Insurance rates were climbing, emissions regulations were tightening, and gas prices were beginning to rise. But the GTO remained a shining example of what made muscle cars so special: unfiltered power, unmistakable styling, and a driving experience that was all about freedom and performance. Today, the 1970 Pontiac GTO is a cherished classic. It holds its value well and continues to be a top pick for collectors and restorers. Original models, especially Judges or Ram Air IV variants, are highly sought after and command premium prices at auctions. The sound of a GTO's V8 roaring to life still sends chills down the spine of any car lover. What makes the 1970 GTO timeless is its balance between brute force and style. It wasn't just about going fast in a straight line. It was about looking good while doing it, owning the road with a presence that few cars could match. From its snarling exhaust note to its confident stance and historic badge, the GTO wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of an era when performance ruled and passion fueled the American automotive industry. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic ride through one of the most iconic muscle cars ever made. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1970 Pontiac GTO and want more classic reviews, modern comparisons, and everything in between, don't forget to subscribe to Motorsports Mania. Stay tuned for more automotive legends and future icons right here.